was torn, the steel was red, the silence sworn. I felt the end behind my ribs, but held the line with iron lips. No glory march, no angel song, just blood and dust where I belong. The final breath I dared to take was not in fear, but wide awake. No prayers for me, no morning choir, just let me burn with battle's fire. Bury me with honor, not in shame. Tell them I stood and earned my name. No golden tomb, no sacred flame, just say I fought and died the same. Don't carve a lie in polished stone. I met my fate and died alone. They'll speak of kings, of those who led, but not the ones who went instead, who filled the breach and took the fall, so history could crown them all. I wasn't chosen by the gods, just followed truth against the odds. No songs for me in halls of fame, but I don't need a hero's name. No statues rise where I was slain, but I would walk that path again. Bury me with honor, not in shame. Tell them I stood and earned my name. No golden tomb, no sacred flame, just say I fought and died the same. Don't carve a lie in polished stone. I met my fate and died alone. I saw the eyes that turned away when death reached out to make us pay, but I stayed in the fire's breath, not brave, just true, until the death. Bury me with honor, not in shame. Tell them I stood and earned my name. No weeping dove, no cloaks of flame, just say I stayed and took the blame. And when you passed that nameless stone, know I stood proud and died alone. You held the key but feared the door, so you painted windows on your floor. You called it peace, you called it wise, but built your cage beneath the skies. You spoke of fate with every breath and blamed the stars for what you left. But deep inside you always knew the prison walls were built by you. No gods to curse, no chains that bind, just rusted lies inside your mind. You forged a link by link, but called it fate instead. Now every cry for freedom echoes in your head. You wore it like a medal, this burden self-imposed, and now you're choking on the chain you chose. You called them friends, you played along, afraid to stand, afraid they're gone. You laughed in crowds, you spoke their script, but silence bled from every slip. You feared the cost of saying no, so you let shadows take control. You buried rage in silent sand and placed your life in strangers' hands. No locks to break, no gods to fight, just truth that burns in morning light. You forged it link by link. savior's hand, no final plea, just one last mirror you must see. The man behind the mask is still the one who bent and broke your will.
Forged it link by link, but call it fate instead. You whisper dreams in silence, then lay them down for dead. You wore it like a medal, this burden self-imposed, and now you're breaking free from the chain you chose.
I walk through halls of shining stone, where silence wears a gilded throne. Their names engraved in ghostly script, where time has cracked what pride once gripped. Their faces lost to rust and dust, their triumphs buried under trust. But in the hush between the lights, I heard their stories stir the night. No trumpet sounds, no battles roar, but echoes shake this sacred floor. Echoes in the marble hall, calling through the rise and fall. Whispers carved in shattered grace of those who vanished without trace. They bled, they broke, they bore it all. Now they live in the marble hall. I saw the sword with blood long dry, still gleaming under painted sky. The dented shield, the broken chain, still heavy with unspoken pain. No voice to beg, no hand to lift, yet still they guard the final rift. They don't need eyes to see us near, their silence speaks what we still fear. No flags remain, no crowns remain, but ghosts still walk through glory stain. Echoes in the marble hall, calling through the rise and fall. Whispers carved in shattered grace of those who vanished without trace. They bled, they broke, they bore it all. Now they live in the marble hall. They once were flesh and fire and breath. They once stood tall and laughed at death. And now they wait in quiet stone to warn the brave you die alone. Echoes in the marble hall, still they rise when empires fall. No golden crown, no battle cry, just truth that time can't crucify. They gave their lives, they gave their soul
and made them stay. No greater love than to defend without a plea, without pretense. He died standing through the flame. No morning bells, no need for blame. Just mark the place where giants fall and learn to rise from someone small. No flag could ever hold his name, but he died proud and stayed the same.
Your name 1,000 times on folded sheets and crooked lines, but fear kept stealing every phrase, so I just watched you drift away. My fingers bled on paper white, but still I hid them from the light. The truth too sharp to leave my chest, so I let silence do the rest. And every word I couldn't say still haunts the dawn of yesterday. Never sent, scattered in the dark, full of all the things that could have changed your heart. I kept them in a drawer beside the life I meant. Now I'm buried under letters never sent. You looked for signs I couldn't give, and I pretended just to live. I wore a smile, I played the role, but kept your name beneath control. And when the world took you away, I still rehearsed what I would say. But ink dries out when hearts don't speak, and pages tear before they're weak. The quiet screamed inside my hands, but still I failed to take a stand. Letters never sent, fall like ashes now. The time we lost, I can't rewrite it somehow. Each broken vow, each line unbent, still cuts me deep, like letters never sent. No signs, no tracks, I walked alone.
No witness watched, no questions asked. Each step erased the one that passed. I left my name, I left my face to chase a ghost I couldn't trace. And every mile I went ahead, a part of me stayed back instead. The sun still shone, but dim for me, as shadows fled where light should be. I took steps without a shadow, left no mark, no flame to follow. A man undone by what he chose, in search of truth I only froze. You can walk 1,000 roads and still be lost where no one knows. I heard a voice behind the breeze, but turned away with quiet ease. Each time I met a crossroad sign, I picked the path that wasn't mine. No lies were told, no traps were set, but still I wandered in regret, afraid to ask what I became when silence swallowed even shame. No mirror caught what I became, just faded footprints scorched by flame. I took steps without a shadow, left no song, no ode to borrow. A drifting soul with fading skin, too proud to lose, too scared to win. You can walk through every gate and never face what makes you brave. Not every road will take you home. Not every fall is carved in stone. But when you walk without your soul, you find the dark in what was whole. I took steps without a shadow, outran the fire, outlasted sorrow, but found no light, no peace, no grace, just empty skies and no one's face. You can walk through death and pride, but not escape what hides inside. You wave it high, you shout and cheer, but never ask who brought it here, whose hands were torn to raise it proud, whose blood still stains beneath the shroud. I marched through smoke, I crawled through rain, with nothing left but silent pain. You saw the banner catch the sky, but not the face that had to die. You honor cloth, but not the cost. You praise the flag, the man is lost. I was the man behind the flag, no name engraved, no hero's tag. I bled beneath the crimson stripe, but vanished when the sound drew right. You sing the song, you light the flame, but never once recall my name. They promised purpose, painted cause, but left us buried in their laws. We didn't fight for kings or land, we fought for breath for those who stand. And when the drums began to fade, they left our bones
stones where no one prayed. The flag came home, it flew so bold, but not the ones who won't grow old. You raise it high, you toast the fight, but never see who lost their light. I was the man behind the flag. No statue built, no mourning gag, just boots left rotting in the field, while stories lie and truths are sealed. You cheer the wave, you mock the flame, but never ask who played that game. Don't cry for me, don't wear my name. If all you feel is pride and flame, the banner means what we endure, not what your speeches reassure. I was the man behind the flag. No parade path, no marching brag, just one of thousands cast aside, whose only grave the state could hide. So when you raise that symbol high, remember those who had to die. I've spoken more than I should say. Each word a blade I threw away. I built a throne from broken trust and watched it crumble into dust. I wore the mask, I played the game, then walked away without a name. Now every echo that I hear is just my voice soaked in fear. No chains to hold, no cell to break, just all the silence that I make. This is the silence I deserve. No hands to hold, no path to swerve, no song to heal, no lie to sell, just empty rooms and truths that swell. Don't ask the sky to speak for me. I chose this void, I paid the fee. I see the faces in my dreams of those I crushed for selfish schemes. They begged for light, I shut the door and called it strength while wanting more. I wasn't lost, I turned away. I knew the cost, but let it fray. Now peace is something far and wide, and silence stays right by my side. You reap the dark when you deceive, and drown in what you once believed. This is the silence I deserve. No voices left to calm my nerve. No second chance, no prayer to speak, just hollow time and growing bleak. Don't paint me bold, don't call it fate. I broke it all and locked the gate.
lit the fire, then feared the flame. I asked for love, then cursed the name. And now I sit where echoes starve, with all the silence I deserve. This is the silence I deserve. No one to blame, no path to curve. The walls don't judge, the night won't speak. Just me and guilt that doesn't sleep. So leave me here, don't try to serve. This is my end. The silence I deserve.
Cheered my name with hungry eyes, but never saw the truth disguised. Each smile a blade, each hand a chain. They praised me just to stake their claim. I wore the robe, I played the king, but felt the weight of everything. For every step they raised me high, they cursed me louder when I'd cry. The crown they placed upon my head was forged in fear and stained in red. These are the thorns of the crown I wear, gold on the surface, but poison in the air. They lift you up, then tear you down. You bleed alone in a velvet gown. There's glory, yes, but never peace. Just wolves who bow until they feast. I signed the laws with steady hand, but doubted every bold command. They swore I held the people's voice, but every word was not my choice. The throne was cold, the nights were long, the silence made me doubt what's wrong. And those who kissed my ring by day would curse my name when turned away. They crowned me not to raise me high, but build up higher when I defy. These are the thorns of the crown I wear, gold on the surface, but poison in the air. They lift you up, then tear you down. You bleed alone in a velvet gown. There's glory, yes, but never peace. Just wolves who bow until they feast. A crown is not a gift, it's bait, a shining lock with hidden fate. And those who reach to hold the sun will find it burns till all is gone. These are the thorns of the crown I wear. Truth is a burden no soul can spare. They want a God, they want a lie. They love you more the more you die. So carve my name in shattered stone, a king who bled but ruled alone.
The sky was red, the walls collapsed. I watched it burn and never asked for mercy, hope, or second tries. Just let the flames erase the lies. I stood alone while ash fell slow. The world I knew was laid below, but in the smoke a voice remained.
but through the loss and pain, it said what's gone is not the end. The fire breaks, but doesn't bend.
This is what the fire left behind. Not gold, not love, not peace of mind, but bones that walk and heads that build from memories. The flames couldn't kill, the past was dust, the tears went blind, but I'm still here with what the fire left behind. The photographs, the hollow rings, the shattered glass, a form of things. I buried them beneath the coals and let the embers cleanse my soul. It hurt to lose, it hurt to feel, but scars remind you what is real. And though the flame took all I had, it couldn't take the strength I grabbed. A heart that cracks can still ignite and rise again from loss and fight. This is what the fire left behind. Not gold, not love, not peace of mind, but bones that walk and hands that build from memories. The flames couldn't kill, the past was dust, the tears went blind, but I'm still here with what the fire left behind. I watched it all go up in smoke, but fire makes a promise when it chokes, to leave you raw, but leave you true, and everything you are comes into view. This is what the fire left behind. No lies remain, no ties that bind, just ash and will, just nerve and bone, enough to stand and walk alone. From what I lost, I came alive, reborn in what the fire left behind.
They walked in crowds with heads held high, but never once looked at the sky. Their eyes were full, their hearts were closed, afraid to see what truth exposed. I tried to speak, but they just smiled, their comfort built on something wild. A world of walls they called control, afraid of mirrors to the soul. But I saw cracks beneath the gloss, where courage lived and powers cost. I went where the blind won't go, beyond the lies they think they know, through broken gates and burning snow, where shadows speak and wild truths grow. You call it madness, call it pain, but that's where I became my name. They begged for light, but feared the flame. They cursed the storm, then praised the rain. I walked alone through cursed terrain and found my soul inside the strain. The further out, the more I bled, but felt alive in what they dread. And though they called me lost and damned, I found the fire in where I stand. There's more to life than simple peace. It takes a wound to find relief. chains of their design and praise the dark they call divine. But I chose pain, I chose the flame to break the lock and speak my name. Where the blind won't go, where only few will ever know the cost of seeing past the screen to truth so raw, so sharp, so clean. Don't pity me, don't call me slow. I found myself where the blind won't go.
Build your walls with silver fear. You speak of rules we'll never hear. We walk the path the brave have made, with open fire and sharpened blade. No yoke, no leash, no master's brand. We ride alone, we make our stand. The road we take, though steep and grim, is carved by choice, not whim or will. We don't bow, we never crawl. We'd rather die than heed your call. No chains for the willing, no lock can cage the storm inside. We burn through law, we tear through pride, with hearts unbound and nights wide. Willing,
chosen hill. But in that crimson light, they turn the end to right and prove that fire bends to iron will. And though they sleep beneath the rain, their voices thunder in our veins. On the throne of the fallen brave, they reign in flame beyond the grave. No crown, no gold, no chosen path, just honor carved in aftermath. On the throne of the fallen brave, their souls outlast the wars they gave. They ride in wind, they rise in wave, forever carved, forever brave. Their names are not on stone, but etched in battle's tone, in every cry that shatters dawn. We raise our blades for them, the silent scorch condemned, whose sacrifice still carries on. Through fires yet to come, we speak what they've become, the guardians of a world reborn. We live because they died, we stand because they tried to keep the banner in the storm. And when the night forgets their song, we sing for them, loud and strong. On the throne of the fallen brave, they reign in flame beyond the grave. No crown, no gold, no chosen path, just honor carved in aftermath. On the throne of the fallen brave, their souls outlast the wars they gave. They ride in wind, they rise in wave, forever carved, forever brave. We light no candles, we build no shrines, for heroes never die, they rise in every fight.